What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing today? Happy Money Monday, everybody. So, what's up, Karen? Karen's in here early today. I like it. Karen, you've been locked in on a bunch of the content stuff lately. Hope Q4's off to a good start for you. And yeah, welcome back to Money Monday, y'all. We're live every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Going live to answer your questions about selling on Amazon, especially with Q4 coming up here. It's a good time to be getting after it. We got Black Friday here very soon, obviously in about a week and a half. Makes a lot of profitable items happen in terms of name brand stuff that gets a lot cheaper to source. And if you guys are looking for a starting point, if you're watching on the replay looking for some resources, that kind of thing, there's a free course down below that you can check out. And really the main thing is just start sourcing auto ungated products. I've been getting asked a ton recently, how do I get started, especially now that the clock is massively ticking. We're pretty much, in the last like 2 to 3 weeks of prep season for Q4 right now. So now is go time. And yeah, lots of good stuff to dive into on the free YouTube videos and that kind of stuff. And let me know if you guys have any other specific questions about what you're running into. Let's see. What's up, Brendan? Thanks for the valuable content. Good vibes. I got you, man. I got you. Glad you're here hanging out on a Monday with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm live over here on TikTok as well. So let me know what questions you guys have over here when it comes to selling on Amazon. And especially if you're newer to the game right now, or even some of the more established sellers, one thing that you might start thinking about doing more so than like the rest of the year is even just running out to local retail stores and getting stuff, from retail arbitrage, find an item, ask the manager how much you can get from the back, or see if they can order you a whole new order of stuff on the next kind of shipment for the store. That's definitely a thing that happens, especially like with hardware stores, if you see that. And another really big one going into Q4 is pickup arbitrage. So it's something that a lot of people aren't really thinking about. But you can, during Q4, there's going to be tons of items where the prices spike up massively, obviously, right? Where it became a really hot selling product, that kind of thing. And Amazon tends to be ahead of other marketplaces on that. So when you're seeing items like that, where maybe it's the whatever the Labubu of this Christmas ends up being, there's going to be something where the price goes massively up, and you're able to place a pickup order same day at like your local Walmart or Best Buy or Target or something like that. And some really smart sellers last year, they're doing that. They're listing that and making the sale, bringing the shipping label to the pickup order, and doing it all in one move, basically. So that's another kind of a good one to take advantage of. Pickup arbitrage if you guys are looking for some more creative ways to get after it. And yeah, see you. Bunch of guys hopping in here. So yeah, let me know what specific questions you guys have. So these steps to get all this set up. Yeah, I mean, the first and most important step is obviously buying a product to sell. You can't learn anything. You're not going to grow. You're not going to, there's only so much you can learn just by looking at videos and talking about selling. So the main priority, especially right now, since kind of the peak demand season is, pretty much here, is just try to get that first sale as soon as possible. Tactically, that's going to be diving in on storefront stalking other resellers. So there's plenty of free videos that'll show you how to do that. Just look up storefront stalking, fields of profit, that kind of thing, and you'll see what I mean by that. But yeah, just start looking at what's working for other people who are taking advantage of the Q4 rush, basically, selling stuff at the high, and yeah, kind of reverse engineer from there. So SellerAmp, Keepa, and Boxem. And then just set aside at least an hour a day for the next week to source products. That's like your super basic starting points. For sure. Let's see, with California at 10% sales tax, do you have recommendations for people that don't take a reseller certificate? Yeah. So like I had a very similar situation. The state where I started selling on Amazon was 9.75. So basically just 10% sales tax. Let me do that. Sweet. I think that if somebody was saying the stream might be glitchy or something, so it should be good over here on TikTok. Yeah, I had super high sales tax when I was getting started as well. So you can work with a prep center in a state with no sales tax. So just go up like Prep Center Delaware or Prep Center New Hampshire, Prep Center Montana, and there'll be a bunch of third-party businesses that you can pay $1.50 a unit, and they will obviously prep and receive and all that kind of stuff for you. And that's something that also will save you some time in terms of getting the prep center there going. Let's see. Do you mentor one-on-one? Not really. I do some one-on-one calls, but I don't do any like formal mentorship or anything like that. Just start learning as much as you possibly can on YouTube, and let me know what other like specific questions you have. I don't. Yeah, I don't do any high ticket anything like that. What's up? It said if you get rejected for an ungating applications or a certain amount of time, you should wait until you reapply. I reapply for denials immediately. Yeah, I do it right away. And then if you're ever getting denials where they like start denying it instantly, try to change up as much as you can about what you're submitting to Amazon on that ungate file. So add a picture of the product. It sounds stupid, but you can like rotate the file and rename the file. That'll work a lot of times. But yeah, the main thing is just keep something in the pipeline that Amazon's looking at. It's totally normal to get some of those denials, but yeah, you just want to keep pushing through when you do get those, basically. For sure. How do you get around distributors who won't deliver to a residential address? You can work with a prep center then in that case. I've definitely done that before in terms of prep center. You're obviously building your business out of your house. Working with a distributor, they only want to ship to a big other warehouse. So you can just use a prep center for that, because prep centers they're going to be warehouses. So that would work as a commercial address. And yeah, you'd be good to go. Let's see. What is your business do? So the main thing is just buying and reselling name brand stuff on Amazon. That's the biggest thing that we do. Buying from, let's say, like, here's an example, right? Here's a product we bought at Marshall's, for example. It's got a $2 clearance sticker on it. We scanned it with the SellerAmp app, and the SellerAmp app showed us that it was selling for about 25 to 30 bucks on Amazon when I sourced this. I'm not sure if it's still selling for that. That was a few months ago, just like an example. But these are the types of products you can sell on Amazon, right? Kind of discounted name brand products that sell for a lot more. And especially this time of year, things like toys and shoes and clothes, chocolates, stuff that people are going to give as gifts, even tools like gardening supplies. Think about literally anything that people will give or receive as a gift for Christmas. Those are the things that are going to be like spiking in prices, basically. That's the main thing I'm focused on, is anything that is giftable. That's obviously a very wide category, which is a good thing. I think a lot of people this time of year, they're focused on selling only toys or only like Christmas decorations and that kind of stuff, which sure, there's lots of good opportunity there. But what happens on, December 30th when no one's buying Christmas decorations anymore, and maybe your Christmas lights sold a little bit too slow? That's why I like selling things that see a big demand increase for a certain season, but it's not only going to sell during that specific season. Let's see. Some prep centers don't take new sellers with low volume. There's plenty of prep centers that'll be like 100 unit minimum. That's pretty standard for like some bigger prep centers. So as long as you're buying like 100 units of stuff, you'll be good. And if you're buying less than 100 units, you should just be shipping it to your house, doing Amazon FBA anyway. Just because that's not really too much bulk. So you want to be as fast as possible. So instead of shipping it to a prep center and listing it on Amazon and waiting for it to check in, you can just list it on Amazon and ship it directly to the customer when it sells. Kind of treat it like eBay almost. For sure. Let's see, you're asking if are there any courses or classes? So there's a free course on YouTube. Just look up Fields of Profit free course. And then we're actually doing a live class on Thursday night for Black Friday as well. Kind of show you how to source a bunch of profit during Black Friday, all that kind of stuff. The link for the free class is up here or down below on YouTube. And if you want to learn right now, just look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube. It's a 4-hour long video to show you a bunch of the basics. See, is this private label? So I don't do private label personally. It's, I know people who do make a lot of money selling on private label, but I do arbitrage, just buying and reselling name brand stuff, basically. For sure. Let's see. Rachel said, do you ship it to Amazon for them to then ship out? Yeah, Rachel. So like when you're starting to sell on Amazon, the majority of people will buy it from, let's say, like for example, I was buying some shoes last night for 20 bucks that are going to sell for like 50, right? So I'll buy those shoes. They'll ship to my prep center. Prep center ships it off to Amazon for me. Or when you're like brand new to the game, you're probably going to buy those shoes, ship them to your house, and then ship those to the Amazon warehouse from there. Although this time of year, you might even consider just shipping directly to the customer when it sells, because that's kind of doing Amazon FBA. Because right now, if you ship something into Amazon FBA, it's going to take at least 2 weeks for you to start seeing those first sales, which at this point is already going to be after Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And being more realistic, it's probably not going to check into the warehouses until like the first to second week of December. The warehouses get super busy this time of year. So it becomes smarter to ship things directly to the customer as they sell. There's a lot more items that are friendly for that this time of year as well. Sweet. Lots of you guys asking good questions today. So if you guys are curious, just like starting point wise, like we're talking about, SellerAmp for sourcing, Boxem for listing products, tracking your profits, all that kind of stuff. There's also an AI that can help you do some sourcing on Boxem as well, and just set a goal to spend, I'd say $100 or $500, whatever's like, enough that you're like learning the ropes, but not going to be like, not going to ruin your ruin your life if you end up, not making your money back right away. And kind of roll from there. Just kind of get going with the basics as soon as you can. Let's see. Can you still get ungated with a 10-unit invoice even if Amazon's requesting 100? That's what I do personally. Yeah, I've never submitted more than 10 units for an ungate. I will say probably have more applications on average and to get approved, but when it's 10 times cheaper, that's worth it to me. Let's see. How do you properly price out shipping cost if you're going to do FBM? So there's some like basic cost estimates. Just go to howtofbm.com. There's like some basic cost estimates you can use there. And then you'll just plug those cost estimates in on SellerAmp on the profit calculator section. Because a lot of people will make that mistake. They'll buy an item and they're not paying attention to like what the shipping is actually going to cost them. So you want to include that on SellerAmp there. And then if you're doing Amazon FBA shipping, then you can have that auto included on all your products, just like on the SellerAmp calculator, basically. Let's see. Is this like wholesale? So sort of, yeah. I mean, I buy a ton of name brand stuff from retailers. So I'll buy 100 units of vitamins from Walgreens.com, and then I'll buy 200 units of shoes from Crocs.com or something like that, right? So you're basically just treating websites like wholesalers and placing as big of order as possible. Let's see, you submit 10 even though they requested more. Yeah, Riley, that's what I do, just because that was the rule for a long time, and it still works. As a general rule, I've never needed to submit more than that. Do you sell AWS? AWS is for like software and kind of thing. So you might mean like FBA, in which case yes, but AWS is more like a software side kind of thing, and that'll be that a lot of like big businesses are powered off of that. But we're just focused on buying and selling name brand stuff that already kind of has established demand and so on. Sweet, yeah, for sure, Rachel. Sweet. Let's see. How many items do you typically have in stock? You just got hit with a $5,000 storage fee. I haven't had anything close to that, man. You must have a ton of inventory at Amazon, which during December, that's going to be a good problem to have for you to have that much inventory. But usually, I mean, I would need to double check this as well, but I can't remember my storage fees ever being more than maybe like 2% at most during like Q4. And usually they're like sub 1%, just because like the whole point of reselling things is buying things that how fast they're going to sell, so you're not going to have to hold them for a long time. So I wonder if you're getting a bunch of storage fees, I wonder if you've been buying stuff like speculating on the price going up, which some people can do very well. It's just a little bit riskier way to go about selling on Amazon. So if that's what you're after, I would be a little bit more careful there. But typically storage fees are not going to be dramatic. I will say this time of year, it's like a good thing to keep in mind. Quick PSA that storage fees are higher during Q4. They're either 3 or 4 times higher. I'm pretty sure it's 4 times higher. So that to say, if you're storing a bunch of inventory that you've been like hoping to sell and not going so well, that kind of thing, now's a good time to start selling through that stuff. Especially on Black Friday, there'll be a ton of people shopping on Amazon. That's usually the best day of the year in terms of how many sales you'll make. It's not usually my highest profit day. Usually the highest profit day of the year will be somewhere between like December 10th to the December 20th, which is, I would say, the true peak of Q4. But usually my highest revenue day is either Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So that'll be a fun one for sure. Is there a minimum storage fee per month? No. So if you want a pro account on Amazon, which you'll probably want because it saves you money on fees, you get easier buy box and ungating, and then you can also use software if you have a pro account. That's $40 a month. But there's no minimum in terms of Yeah, there's no minimum in terms of how many products you have at Amazon. You could have none. You could have 100,000. If it really just depends on the business you're running. What up, Sadiq? How you doing, man? How's Q4 prep going for you? I assume you've got a dragon's horde of inventory ready to roll. For sure. Do you sell a variety of products? Yeah, for sure, Ari. Yeah. Um, yeah, just because there's no reason to be like to only stick to one particular niche unless you are like a brand owner or doing wholesale in a specific like category niche, that kind of thing. But when it comes to reselling just from big websites, I go wherever the cheapest prices are for the day. So some days there might be really good prices on vitamins and health food and that kind of thing, and then maybe the next day all those sales are gone, but there's a bunch of good prices on shoes and maybe some toys or something like that, right? So whatever categories have 25% off coupons and buy one get one sales and that kind of thing, that's what I'm gonna be buying that day. Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sadiq. Yeah, I'm 700. I'm about 700 subscribers away on YouTube from 100K. So if you guys want to, if you're on YouTube or you're on TikTok and you want to help me get a shiny YouTube 100K plaque that I've wanted since I was a kid, hit the subscribe button. Help me out a little bit. But yeah, I've been working on that for quite a while. Appreciate you, man. Let's see, in-store and online are both. So my business is, I'd say 95% buying products from websites, shipping those to a prep center, and then the prep center ships it to Amazon for me. The rest of that's going to be the occasional retail arbitrage run, a little bit of wholesale here and there, that kind of thing. But yeah, the vast majority of we'll sell right around 2.5 million this year. Is going to be just from big websites. I think from VitaCost, iHerb, Walgreens, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you guys want to see like exactly where I like to source inventory, how I source those products, all that kind of stuff, we're also doing a free class on Thursday night as well. Yeah, so we're gonna be hopping on a Zoom call, sourcing products together. It'll be really good, kind of getting prepped for Black Friday in particular. Because Black Friday, honestly, the biggest opportunity of Black Friday isn't selling stuff, even though it'll be awesome. Last year it was like a $20,000 day for us, which is always fun to see on paper. But the bigger opportunity is how much money you can spend on super profitable inventory, because it's the best day of the year for just for buying stuff as a consumer, which means that it's the best day of the year for finding stuff on sale to sell for a lot more, and a lot of times sell for a lot more like 2 weeks later for people that are that waited a little bit too long to buy Christmas gifts and that kind of thing. Yeah, so if you guys want to see like exactly how I like to source products on Thursday night, if you go up here, we're doing a free Zoom call. If you go down here on YouTube, you can see that as well. For sure. Why arbitrage instead of wholesale? It's just what I got good at. I got built a system to do it with very little time and that kind of thing. I think a lot of people think that like growth, especially on Amazon and just in business in general, has to be very like you go from this business to this business to this business. But like everyone has different skills and different things that they enjoy, right? For me, the thing that I enjoy is not like cold calling random suppliers and all that kind of stuff. I like building systems and having people source websites for me and that kind of thing, and that's just what I started enjoying doing. Other people think I'm crazy for that, and that's totally fine. Everybody has their own things in business that they're good at and can do for a long time. Let's see. How do you start? Spend money on a profitable product right away, like as soon as possible is the short answer. Even if that's like $100 worth of inventory. Tactically, you're going to load up SellerAmp, go to anything Danner brand, Stafford brand, Athletic Works, Up and Up, and see what the other sellers on those brands are selling. It's like super basic reverse sourcing. I know any of you guys who've heard of Amazon at all before have done that and you found something profitable doing that. But yeah, if you're like brand new to the game, that's the move for you. So SellerAmp reverse sourcing is what you're going to want to do. For sure. Do you invest in One Piece TCG? Nah, not One Piece. I do have a good amount of Pokemon stuff. I've been doing that for honestly like 5-6 years at this point. Yeah, just because it was something I liked as a kid. Started buying some stuff during Corona and all that, and then the prices went up, so it worked out. For sure. Let's see. And what else? Yeah, Ryle, if you're asking about like what you're looking into, so SellerAmp for sourcing, Boxem for listing, AI analytics, and all that kind of stuff. And then just start reverse sourcing. I'm not exactly sure what you were asking to clarify. But yeah. Let's see. Do you do any one-on-one? Not really. I do some one-on-one calls that you can book if you want to do that. But for the most part, just dive into free content and shoot me a DM or drop a question here if you have any questions I can answer for you. Yeah, just focused on helping as many people as possible with free content. For sure. How much do you make after tax and all that? Yeah, so I shoot for a 10% net margin after I pay my team, because my team does all the sourcing, shipping, tracking the products, restocking the products. My job at this point is just to make sure that my team is doing their jobs correctly, and make sure numbers are looking good, that kind of thing. So I'm fine to trade a lot of margin to not do very much work myself. Other people will probably have closer to like 20% margins, but they're working a lot of hours. So it's totally up to you how you want to run your business. For sure. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Got you, man. See, what are you using for analysis on Walmart? WAMP, WAMP. It's a free tool. The beta is free on WAMP, so it shows you like how fast things sell, and helps you source products on Walmart. Like I said, WAMP. So WAMP is free if you want to get into selling on Walmart too. It's a good way to do it for sure. Let's see. What's up, Chris? He said driving home to go source, list, and learn. Yeah, I like it, Chris. I like it. Keep it up. I like the logo too. Is that like a softball team or something softball team you coach or something like that? I like it. Let's see. Richie said, for now you're shipping products yourself. What's the most affordable way to ship? You feel like shipping can kill profit? Yeah, in terms of shipping, a lot of times you'll just buy it through Amazon is going to be the cheapest option. If it's like a really awkward big size, you can also try something like Pirate Ship. But usually just buying shipping through Amazon is the cheapest option because they give us like partnered rates basically. For sure. Not right now, Monty, but you can shoot me some of your work, Monty. Always looking for new talented people if you're looking for a job. Let's see. Do you recommend Amazon KDP for beginners? So I've never really done Amazon KDP. Kindle Direct Publishing, if you guys are new to the Amazon game, that kind of thing. Basically like make your own ebook and sell that. I've never really done that personally. I have done a little bit of like Amazon merch, which is kind of similar. So I can't give you too much of an opinion on that. There's a lot of different ways to make money online though, and I've definitely seen people making some money on it, but I haven't seen people making more than like a few grand a month on KDP and merch and stuff like that. Not that they're not out there, but it tends to be a little bit easier to scale to like crazy numbers or hit your goals and that kind of stuff if you actually buy and sell the products yourself. Let's see. They played in college. Nice, Chris. Yeah. Very cool. Let's see. What's up, Mark? Can you do it in the UK? Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of sellers in the UK and in Europe in general, that kind of thing. Yeah, the main thing, like even if you're not in the US and you're watching, like the methods are the exact same. It's just you're gonna source from Tesco or whatever, and I'm sourcing from Walmart, right? Your supplier is the only thing that changes. The methods are the same for sourcing products across any Amazon marketplace. Sweet. Yeah, let me know the questions you guys got here. What's the minimum cost for shipping through Amazon? For shipping like direct to a customer, usually like a $4 or so is like the cheapest you're gonna see. That'll be for a lot of your like smaller products that are just like standard economy shipping. When it comes to shipping through Amazon FBA, it's pretty normal to see like 60 cents a pound, which is pretty cool. Obviously, those are like bigger boxes, so it's like 50 pounds at a time or so. So that's typically what you'll see on FBA shipping rates. See, can't open your. I mean, if you're having like account technical issues, you probably need to hit Amazon on that. For sure. Let's see. Do you need insurance over 10K in sales? Yeah, Rayhan. So Amazon requires you to be insured when you start to sell that much. I'm pretty sure it's $10,000 over 3 months is the threshold, and then you can get insurance through Next or the Hartford or one of those. There's a lot of companies that'll do it, and usually it's like $500-$600 a month. I am engaged, Kyre. Not sure if you're a bot or just personally curious, but yeah. Let's see. Do you pay for ads or sell organically? Yeah. There's no need to buy ads if you sell things that already sell. So, for example, like here's this example product I was showing earlier. It's like a DC toy. People are already searching for Batman toys on Amazon, right? So you can just list that. Where you do need to buy ads is if it's something that people are not organically searching for. So those are going to be things that are like a brand that you created. No one's going to be searching for your random brand. But if you buy, a Batman item and it's a lot cheaper at a retail store and people are already buying it on Amazon, then you'll be good to go. For me, we might spend like a couple $100 on ads this year, and we'll sell like over $2 million. And honestly, the couple $100 in ads are like not essential at all. It's like just stuff I play around with, to be honest. Let's see. How do you prep your products? So you just buy the item, you ship it to you or a prep center. You'll list it on Boxem, print out your SKU labels and your box labels on Boxem. And if you want to do like an optimized shipment or 2D shipping, those are like a little bit more complicated if you're like brand new, but there are ways that can kind of help your products check in faster or save a little bit of money. You can also do those on Boxem and ship them off and start making those sales. If you're doing FBM, they don't really need to do any kind of prep work, just because you're going to ship it individually to the customer, basically. Let's see. Steve, you're asking, can you use 2D barcodes with optimized splits? No. Amazon only lets you use one or the other, for sure. Can you sell products from here to another country or vice versa? So there are some. There's actually a program within Amazon that will automatically cross-list your stuff to other countries. It's just generally not super advised because the fees get a lot higher. So I was part of that for a while, but it just didn't end up working out. What tends to make more sense is if you want to get into selling in other countries, just truly sending a shipment off to those countries, or buying products in that country, shipping it to a prep center in that country, and keeping it all there. So like, for example, if I wanted to expand into Germany, would probably be the next natural market to go into, because Amazon's really big. I would just get a prep center in Germany, shop German websites, ship it to them, and do the whole thing, but remote, basically. And you can run it remotely in the US too if you really want. So you're trying to get ungated in Lego. They're ungating, or they're denying it every time. So just keep submitting. It's normal. This time of year, Amazon, just with like Christmas gifts right around the corner, they're going to be a little extra strict on who they're approving to sell, especially like brands like Lego are very, very popular, giftable brands, that kind of thing, just because they don't want to be responsible for some kid getting a fake Lego that was bought from China or something under the Christmas tree. Just keep submitting, especially if you buy like directly from the brand or directly from a big retail website that Amazon obviously trusts, like Walmart or Target. That'll work as well. How much does it cost to get started? I started with $1,500. Say if you have you need to have at least $1,000 that you can afford to lose to start on Amazon. So if you only have $1,000 to your name, hustle a little bit on your own. Like when I started, I had literally $1,500 to my name. So I was going to thrift stores and yard sales and trying to resell stuff that I could get super cheap, and just basically spending as much time as possible, stretching my dollar as far as possible. And then you're able to build up a good amount of seed capital, and just kind of continue to grow the snowball from there. What's the most efficient way to scale? I mean, there's a lot that goes into that, man, but the biggest thing to remember, especially like when it comes to scaling reselling, is every product you find right now makes the next one easier to find, because you found a good sale you can source from, or hey, you found a good brand that has good products. All right, let me look at that brand and see other like ideas off that. Or hey, I found a size large that's profitable. All right, I bet the medium's profitable too, right? So every time you find something, it makes it way easier to find another couple off of that. And in terms of scaling reselling is not about finding 1,000 products to resell. It's about finding 10, 20, 30 products that you can restock over and over again, and use that to like build consistency while you do find new ideas, and like continue to build those, like, the baseline of your business, if that's how you want to look at it. For sure. Let's see. How much money do you need to profit 10K after fees and expenses? So it depends on your timeline for that. But the way that the numbers will work out on Amazon is, let's say you sell a product for $100. Usually you spent $50 on that product. About $30 of that is going to go to Amazon for them to, do the marketing, ship to the customer, all that kind of stuff. And then the last 20% is going to be your profit. So that last $20. So breaking it down that way, if you want to make 10K in profit, usually you have spent about 25 to 30 grand on inventory, just the way like normal return on investments work out and that kind of thing. So if you want to make 10K in a month, you need to spend 25 to 30 grand. If you want to make 10K over a year, you probably only need like, I don't know what the math would exactly work out to, but like 3 or 4 grand, and then continue to like snowball that. You could play around with a compound interest calculator if you're like really curious. Because pretty typical for reselling is to see a 35% return on investment on your money every 2 to 2.5 months. And that's if you're an FBA seller. If you're an FBM seller, it's going to be a 35% return on your money every 1 to 1.5 months. But it's more work. So you'll see a lot of people aren't willing to do the work of FBM, but the people who do the work of FBM, like ship and direct to customer, tend to grow a lot faster and just make a lot more money in their first year. But obviously you pay the price in time for that. Let's see. Do you use Alibaba? I don't buy anything from Alibaba because those are not branded products. I only buy things that are usually discounted and already in demand. Stuff that you're buying on Alibaba is not already in demand. You have to create the demand for it. The way that I do like reselling and that kind of thing, instead of creating demand, I create profit margin by using coupons and sales and discounted gift cards and cash back and credit card sign up bonuses and all kinds of stuff like that. So you can create extra profit margin. For sure. Yeah, let me know what other questions you guys got here. Probably be live for a few more minutes. See how long you have to reinvest. That's up to you. Yeah. So a lot of people will start paying themselves a salary right away. For me, I didn't start paying myself a salary out of my business for well over a year, just because I didn't need the money at the time. I was living as a broke college kid, and I was fine with letting the money continue to snowball. So since I didn't pull anything out of my business, starting with like $1,500, I ended up making about 30 grand in profit in my first year, just continuing to grow the snowball. And then it made it easier later down the line when it's like, hey, all right, I'm graduated college now. I actually need to pay myself some money so that I don't have to go get a real job. And it was not too bad after that. El Muerto, you're in the weeds if you know I'm from Arkansas. I don't know if Petrino should be the next head coach, but I mean, we'll see. Yeah, definitely getting off the rails with that one. What do you think, Muerto? I mean, you gotta go. You gotta win some games if you want to be the coach. I think can't go 2-10. Let's see. What credit card do you recommend? I use a Capital One Spark. I'll give you a 2% back on everything. You can also use like an Amex Plum for extending your credit card payback and that kind of thing. What's that? Ricky said, how much do you need to sell on account so that Amazon starts trusting your account, starts to give you auto ungates? Yeah, so usually you'll start to see auto ungates happen around like the 5 to 10K sales mark. Yeah, and that's not perfect, but you'll tend to see a lot more things just automatically get approved for you there. Let's see, are you an LSU fan? Yeah. I knew we were going to find a miraculous way to lose to you on Saturday, so congrats for that. If you think you're a train wreck, then look at our last couple years. Sweet. Sweet. I think I got all the questions here, so it's probably a good place to wrap up. Or there's a couple more over here on Instagram as well. Let's see. Do you sell Adidas or Crocs even though they have an IP alert? Yeah. So if you see a brand that warns you of like IP concerns or something, all you need to do is make sure that there's like a history of multiple third-party sellers on that listing having success, and you're good to go. So I'll sell stuff that might claim to have IP concerns and stuff, as long as I see a good history of other resellers being on it. So you listed products with Amazon on it, but you haven't made sales with merchant fulfilled. Yeah, so an FBA offer is almost always going to have preference over merchant fulfilled offers, except for during Q4. So like when the warehouses get all full during after Black Friday and that kind of thing, you'll start to see more sales going to your FBM offers on that. Sweet. Good. Let's go ahead and wrap up there for the day then. Appreciate all you guys. If you want some starting points to dig deeper on this stuff, check out the free course that I have for you. If you're on YouTube down here, if you're on Instagram or TikTok up here, it's about 3 hours of content. Plus there's some spreadsheets and all kinds of other stuff that'll give you some awesome free resources. Should help you get that first 10K in sales or so. And then also on Thursday night, we're doing a free class for Amazon sellers to show you how to source products during Black Friday. So I'm usually spending 50 to sometimes $100,000 on Black Friday weekend products, and I'll show you exactly how this Thursday night live on a free Zoom call. So again, that's linked up here or down below, depending on what platform you're on. And yeah, appreciate all you guys hanging out on a Monday afternoon, and I will